got some rather unfortunate news. And yeah, Nate, obviously we talked about Russell Westbrook and the popcorn incident. We talked about Trae Young and the fan who spat at him. But this was a verbal altercation, but regardless, it was still wrong and it was still bad. So basically, 3 Utah Jazz fans were ejected from the arena last night for making racist and lewd remarks. And there were the lewd remarks that were towards Ja Morant's wife, and then it was a racist remark that was towards Ja Morant. So basically, the Utah Jazz, in a statement, they cited a verbal altercation that occurred between Jazz fans and parents, according to the Jazz. But Tee Morant said there was 3 separate incidences, but security handled them quickly. So I have a quote from Tee Morant. He said, and I quote, "I know heckling. We were doing that the whole game, but that's different than heckling. That's straight up disrespectful. That was too far out of line. You don't say nothing like that heckling. That's beyond heckling." So yeah, and Ja Morant actually said in the tweet that he agrees with the Jazz decision to ban the fans and that his parents should be able to cheer for me and my teammates without getting inappropriate shit said to them. That's exactly Ja Morant's words. And then Ja Morant wrote that his family told him they felt the love from other Jazz fans who were around them. And obviously there were Jazz fans around them and they were obviously like heckling. They were having like friendly banter, obviously like the trash talking going on. So like he was having a good time with the Utah Jazz fans. They really enjoyed going back and forth with Tee Morant. However, they were just fans who took it way too far, Nate. And Tee Morant, he also said that another fan said, and I quote again, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but this is just messed up, Nate. "I'll put a nickel on your back and watch you dance, boy." That's just wrong, Nate. That really is
ridiculous.
And then other Jazz fans actually confronted the fan and they alerted security, which again, credit to them because that shouldn't be happening in an NBA game. Okay. That was the second incident. And then the third incident, Nate, this is just wrong. A third fan yelled at Ja Morant's wife, telling her to shut the fuck up, bitch. These people are ridiculous, Nate.
That's just insane. Like I can't believe this stuff is going on, man. It's like, yeah, we're all excited. Like the players are excited for y'all to be back, right? But then you're gonna go off and do stuff like this. What's the point, dude? Like right. It's absolutely unnecessary. Like we're finally starting to at least have things go back to normal. The stadiums are being filled up again. We got fans coming back in. And this has been happening quite a lot, Mario. I mentioned yesterday in the MLB, a lot of fans are fighting each other in the stands. You go to soccer, a lot of racist remarks going on in the stands too. Now here in basketball, you got both of those going on at once. Like, what the hell is going on with you people? Like, I know you guys are excited to go back into the stands, but come on now. Really? Like what's the point of this?
Right. I have a statement from the Utah Jazz. They said, and I quote, "The Utah Jazz has zero tolerance for offensive and disruptive behavior. An incident occurred last night involving a verbal altercation during Game 2. Arena security staff intervened, and the investigation resulted in a removal and banning of 3 Utah Jazz fans immediately. We apologize to all who were impacted by this unfortunate incident and condemn unacceptable fan behavior." And it was actually a quote from the Jazz owner, Ryan Smith. He said, and I quote, he said on Twitter, he wrote that the franchise is embarrassed and sorry. And the quote from him, he said, "Utah Jazz has zero tolerance for offensive behavior. We are committed to creating a respectful, competitive environment." And Donovan Mitchell, too, he even said a quote. He said, "I'm glad those fans were banned and they should never be allowed back. This is ridiculous. The fact that these words are being thrown around to players and their families is ridiculous. Enough is enough. Shake my head." And a little bit, so Tee Morant and the other fans, they were having fun that day. They were having friendly banter with Tee Morant. They were going back and forth. And one of the fans even said, hope you're back Wednesday. And Tee Morant responded, "Better believe I'm going to be back when we're up 3-1 and closing you out." I just think that's a pretty sad response. But again, I'm gonna start first because basically you started off and you said stuff early, Nate. So before I say anything, I just want to say the source for this was Tim McMahon, ESPN staff writer. First of all, to Ja Morant's family, to his wife, to his father, to his family, and to Ja Morant himself, I'm sorry that they had to go through this. I really am, because this is just wrong. This really is wrong. I don't know what's going on with the fans. I don't know what is wrong with them. They're
absolutely a wire
above and beyond, and you were right. Since they got back from being allowed back into the arena, they've just been going berserk. I understand it. Like, obviously, like, the New York Knicks, they were chanting like F Trae Young. Like, obviously that stuff happens, especially like with Trae Young when you want to be the villain. But to spit on him, that's wrong. And Russell Westbrook, again, he wasn't even really the villain. He was just an opponent, really, for this series. And again, he was hurt and he was going back to the locker room. And you want to dump popcorn on him? Like, these people are immature. And then these Utah Jazz fans who are making racist remarks, they're making lewd remarks towards his wife. Like, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. It really is. And again, this shouldn't be happening. Again, Morant's family came to watch him play, like any other supportive parent would, if their kid was in the professionals. If their kid was playing pro ball, no matter where it is, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, you name it, parents are going to be able to go watch their kids and support them. So they shouldn't have to go through this type of thing. Okay. And again, like, this is again, all this stuff, man, is just wrong. It really is. And it shouldn't be happening. And again, Ja Morant's father, he should be pissed, because I would be pissed as a father too. If you're going to say this stuff about my kid while my kid is playing, like, come on, dude, really? Because I guarantee you one thing, okay? I'll put my money on it. If Ja Morant was in the stands sitting down, he wouldn't say that to him. Because he knows Ja Morant himself would probably jump over the seats and end up handling himself. Stuff like that is just wrong. Telling him you put a nickel on his back, like, come on, he'll dance. You people got to learn better, really. You have the opportunity to go to these games. Okay, I'm not sure if the Utah Jazz arena, I'm not sure if it has full capacity or not. Probably not.
I'll look it up for you.
I don't think they have full capacity. So the fact that you had like an opportunity to get this ticket, you bought the ticket. Again, it's playoff basketball, so obviously the tickets are pretty high. And the fact that you're willing to do this is just wrong. Like, at what cost? Like, you can boo him. You can, like, again, Tee Morant was saying that him and the other Utah Jazz fans, they were having like friendly trash talking between them back and forth. That's fine. Make it a good experience for Tee Morant, like the other fans did. Again, they were trash talking with him back and forth, but it was friendly trash talk. It was probably like rubbing it in like his face if like the Jazz were ahead, or it was probably Tee Morant rubbing it in their face if the Grizzlies were ahead and when the Grizzlies beat them. But don't do stuff like this, Nate. Like, it's just wrong. It really is. And again, and the sad part is this: when they said that to his wife, right? His kid was next to him. Like, how do you feel about yourself, dude? Like, seriously, how do you guys feel about yourself? The fact that you are telling Ja Morant's wife, the mother of his child, this in front of the child.
Right.
It's not even
And to answer your question about the fans, Mario, the arena seats 18,000, but it's only allowing 13,000 in the stands.
Right.
So,
right, exactly. So there's 5,000 seats that could have been filled. So you were fortunate enough to get those tickets. And you're going to ruin it like that. You're going to get ejected from the arena. Stuff like this should not be happening. Okay. And again, I expect the NBA to do something about this, because this is 2 nights in a row where the players have been getting disrespected. And the sad part about this is, Nate, the sad part about this is I feel like this happens a lot more than people think. But security's just not there to catch.
Oh, it definitely does. It definitely does.
That's what I feel. I feel like this happens a lot more than people think. Keep fans in the arena, and they probably say something like racist, or they probably say something lewd, but the fans don't like confront them as they did in this one, which, by the way, again, I gotta give a lot of credit to the Utah Jazz fans for stepping up and alerting the security.
Right.
Again,
I'll say this, okay? I get what you're saying, but when you think about it, especially when it's a full house, like, it gets loud in there, especially with the roof on, the sound travels everywhere. So it is kind of hard to hear that kind of stuff, but some people are just built different and can hear that kind of stuff.
And again, somebody could say something, and what do? They like look at them, and some people might ignore it. These fans actually intervened, and they alerted the security to go eject this guy. We're trying to have a good time here. We got these seats, and it just so happens that right next to us, or right near us, is Ja Morant's family and his father. And a lot of the fans who, again, didn't get kicked out, they were having friendly banter. They were having friendly trash talking with Ja Morant's father, and Ja Morant and father enjoyed that. Again, one fan, again, said, hope to see you back Wednesday. So like they were having a good time with Ja Morant's father, but then you got these racist fans and these fans making lewd remarks towards him and towards his Ja Morant and his wife. Like that's just wrong. It really is messed up, Nate. It really is, you know, and this shouldn't be happening. It really shouldn't. Yeah. So basically, yeah, one made a racist remark towards Ja Morant. One told Ja Morant's wife to shut the f up and called her the b word, and then one ended up making a sexual remark towards Ja Morant's wife. And then Tee Morant confronted the man in the security, de-escalated the situation. I think that's the one that the Utah Jazz were referring to, that they seen the situation and they ended up de-escalating it. I'm assuming that's the one right there. But again, this is just wrong, man. And again, to Ja Morant's family, to his father, to his wife, again, even to his kid, and to the rest of his family, you know, I'm sorry that you guys were affected by this. I really am, and him as well. I'm sorry that he had to learn about this. You know, you come back again from a playoff loss, and then you hear about this. It's just wrong, Nate. It really is. And again, I'm sorry that he had to go through this. I really am, because stuff like this shouldn't be happening. I don't know if you want to say anything, because I'm not sure if you said everything in the first thing.
There's a few more things I wanted to mention. Well, first of all, to Ja Morant and his family, I do apologize. This stuff has to happen. First of all, okay, the NBA needs to start protecting the players and the fans at that too. You know what I mean? Because some fans aren't. It's not just always the players. You know, like I mentioned in other sports, you know, fans do fight each other. So I feel like, and I want to be honest with you, Mario. You're right. This does happen a lot. You know, it's just because it doesn't really get the
Right.
it doesn't catch the eye of the media.
Not everything is reported.
Exactly. Yeah. So not a lot of the things catch the eye of the media. You know, it'll catch the eye of the people because they're around it and whatnot. As for the media, though, for the media, it depends. Like something like this, yeah, obviously it's gonna catch the media's eye. Like what happened with Trae Young and Russell Westbrook, that's gonna catch the eye of the media, obviously. But if it's just like a simple fight in the stands, like that's world star stuff. But anyway, the NBA, like there's security in the arenas, but I'm gonna be honest, they suck at their job. They need to protect these players. They need to protect these fans because
Right. I'll say this. I think the Utah Jazz security, I think they did a good job.
They did a good job, absolutely. They did an absolutely amazing job handling the situation. Same thing with the fans. You know, shout out to them. You know, much respect to you guys. But as for the other two situations, Mario, it really goes to show you how vulnerable that security is. They need to up their game, especially now when you got arenas, especially in New York and in Boston, going to be fully filled up. TD Garden announced that they're going to have a full house.
I say this. I disagree with you, because here's the thing. Okay, those two incidences, security couldn't stop that. You couldn't stop that. Like, there's really nothing the security could do. You couldn't stop that man from dumping popcorn on him. What were you supposed to do?
Yeah, he could have.
So you're saying as a security guard, you would have expected a man dumping popcorn on him. So how would you?
No, but if I see. No, but I'm saying they need to protect these players from that stuff to happen.
Right. In that incident, there's really not a lot the security could do. If Russell Westbrook is walking in the tunnel and one guy just decides to do this, the security guard can't stop him from doing this. He's gonna pour it on him, as for Trae Young, the security guard, is really not a lot you can do. Again, the person spat at Trae Young. What's the security guard supposed to do? Catch the spit in midair? That's the thing.
I'm not saying do any of that. I'm saying have more security guards watch over these fans, because you know now that this stuff is happening. You need to up your security so this stuff doesn't happen.
But in those last two instances, even then, I don't think the security guard, even if you put more security, I don't think it stops that, though. I don't think the popcorn still gets dumped on Russell Westbrook. I think the fan still spits, because those two incidences right there, you can't stop. Now, again, if a fan decided to go charge at a player and try to attack him, then more security guards would really help in stopping that. I agree. But stuff like pouring popcorn and spitting, you can't really stop that. It's a 1 second action. So
it doesn't. Whatever it is, I really do think the security needs to be up a little bit more, because this stuff is happening a lot more, and it's just ridiculous.
I agree with you on that, but in those two past instances, I don't think security stops.
I'm not talking about in those two instances. I'm just talking about in general. Security needs to be up, especially with this stuff happening and more arenas allowing 100% capacity. I wouldn't be surprised if something like this happens in Boston, more specifically with the Celtics. Because Celtics fans are some pretty are a crazy breed of people. Let me tell you something. I mean, same thing with Bruins fans, but needless to say, Boston can be very toxic at times. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like this happens in Boston. I do hope that that place is secure for the sake of the Brooklyn Nets because, oh boy, those fans are crazy. But look, going back to the situation, the NBA needs to do something about this. They need to up the securities in these arenas. They need to protect these players. They need to protect the fans because it's not always just the players getting affected by it. Some of the fans do get affected by physical stuff as well and some mental stuff. So I'm glad that, again, the way the Jazz handled it, they handled it very, very well. You know, I'm glad that those fans actually heard what they said. You know what I mean? So moving forward, I think the NBA really needs to up their security in these arenas because this stuff should not be happening at all.
And I think what the NBA needs to do specifically, though, I think if you catch fans making these types of remarks, sexual remarks towards a player, racist remarks towards a player, okay? If you deeply condemn racism and those types of things, which they have spoken out about many, many times, Nate, okay? If a fan makes those types of remarks, you don't, again, these fans got ejected from the arena. Well, who's to say this fan couldn't go from Utah to Memphis and go watch that game, pay a ticket for that game? I think you need to I think if these fans make those remarks, you ban them from every NBA arena.
Yeah.
That's one thing you should do. Again, more security, that will definitely help because who's to say the next one a fan won't charge at a player and attack him, you know? In that case, security guards can stop him. As for the popcorn and the spit, those are happening either way.
Oh, I know that, but it's just
those are happening either way.
Like it's just in general, like obviously that stuff is unavoidable, but I'm just talking about in general. There needs to be more security because I don't think they protect these people enough. But that's the NBA's decision. You know, I mean, I hope they make the right one.
Yeah.
So if they do, you know, I do wish them the best of luck in trying to figure this out. As for Ja Morant and his family, again, I do apologize. He had to go through something like this. And I do wish you guys the best of luck.
The NBA said they're gonna fix the fan code. You know, they're gonna enhance it and everything like that. They're gonna enhance it. So I wish them the best of luck in that, and I hope that they can come up with something so this doesn't happen again. Because again, these players need to be protected. Because when they're because again, Russell Westbrook said it. If you were on the street, you wouldn't throw popcorn in my face then, because again, there'd be a problem. It's as simple as that. But because we're players and we're doing our jobs, we're not protected. We're not protected because we can't go and hit these fans because because again, security guards stopped Russell Westbrook, and not only that, you're doing your job. You hit a fan, you're probably going to get suspended or fined or whatever it might have been the case. Same thing with Trae Young. I don't think Trae Young noticed it at the time. He probably looked at the video and noticed it, but
he actually didn't even care that happened. But it still happened. So
it's still happening. It's still wrong, you know. And as for these fans, again, they got ejected from the arena. Good. Well, I think they should be ejected from every arena for doing this type of thing.
Yeah. Because they can just go like they got banned from MSG. Nothing stopped them from going to State Farm Arena in Atlanta and doing the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Right. Well, if you want to end it, Nate, go ahead and end it.
Yeah. With that being said, you know, best of luck to Ja Morant and his family. Again, I do apologize that this had to happen. As for the NBA, you know, they are working on figuring this situation now. So I do wish them the best of luck in that. And if there's an update on it, we'll let you guys know. And we'll just see what happens.